Right, Jamie, West Ham have got 4 points from 8 games, so they're 3 points between them and Burnley, who are in 17th place. Is it a reality to think that they could get relegated, especially given that the promoted clubs are doing OK so far?
They're going down. They are sleepwalking into the Championship. They're terrible. That performance last night, Tom, disgusting. It was unacceptable from a West Ham team. How they think they can turn up at home and play that in that manner. No passion, no fight, no organisation, no team ethic, nothing. I saw absolutely nothing from them whatsoever. The manager, I felt for Nuno, and he's just gone in there. And they're in disarray. They're protesting outside the ground. It's toxic atmosphere. Mate, they're sleepwalking into the Championship. They're on their way down. I can't see anything. West Ham have not shown me anything to say that they can get themselves out of trouble right now. They've got nothing to offer. No legs in midfield, conceding goals for fun at the back. Players up front not really doing the business. Somerville, all right, he carries the ball well. Jared Bowen looks like he's had enough of it all. You know, I can't believe how bad they are. The players, shocking. Someone has got to step up for them and say, right, we've got to drag ourselves out of the mud, because the fans have gone. The fans are gone there, Tom. They do not want to go and watch that team. And you know, the performances they put in last night, that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. I watched the game. Absolutely. It was unacceptable from a football team to go out and play like that at home.
A lot of the messages we're getting have been along those lines as well, Jamie. Well, Sky Sports have partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. You can represent your club by scanning that QR code or visiting the Sky Sports app for more details. West Ham fan Gonzo joins us now. Right, Gonzo, the West Ham fans have been very active in voicing their unhappiness, either in the ground or by boycotting last night. And I gather you were one of the fans who didn't go. Just explain why.
Yeah, look, let me be perfectly straight about this. It was a Monday night game. It's tough for me to go anyway. But even if I had been going, I would have absolutely boycotted that game. But what I just want to push back on is there's going to be a narrative that starts suggesting that because West Ham fans boycotted that game, that's why we lost. That's not right. I want to make the point. There were protests outside, but when the West Ham coach comes in, the players are clapped and cheered in. So the players know that the fans are behind them. There was probably not that big a difference between the attendance last night and what many of our normal night home games are. There is an apathy. Jamie's right. There is an absolute apathy to everything that's going on with West Ham at the moment. But let's get this absolutely right. We lost last night, but not because of the fans. We've not won since February. So this has been going on a long time with a lot of different players under a lot of different managers. And this all stems from basically the poor ownership from the very top.
Gonzo, I've got to ask you, though. It was a poor performance last night from the players, and I get that. You say the fans, you know, they were there and they were clapping. Mate, it was like a game in COVID. Honestly, the atmosphere is completely gone there. And I'm not blaming the fans, because you need something to cheer about. But yous are going to have to help this club out. I know you're not happy with the ownership, but yous have got to do more when you turn up there, because the atmosphere is absolutely dead. How can you expect players to get up for a game? There's no one there.
You have been to the stadium, right, though, Jamie? I mean, the stadium is terrible. West Ham fans
It's not terrible,
are the loudest.
It's not terrible. You weren't moaning about that when you're in European football.
It's miles from the pitch. I reckon there's probably been 4 games there since we moved in where the atmosphere was really, really good. There's trampolines separating the top and the lower tiers. I reckon it's about probably 20 metres at some points.
I've been there. Listen, it's not the best, but still, come on, create an atmosphere. Do something.
Well, I think fans do create an atmosphere. I think they really do.
You don't create an atmosphere. The atmosphere at West Ham is shocking.
Away from home, we create a really, really big atmosphere. Home, it's tough. You've asked West Ham, not you, but West Ham have gone from a 35,000 team, which were at Upton Park, and now this stadium is 66,000. For you to do that, to basically say to 30,000 new fans that come along and support, you need to offer something. There's still a hardcore support there, but noise gets lost in that cavernous stadium. It really, really does. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm not pretending it was raucous last night. It really isn't. But I'll tell you now, the players walk onto that pitch, the fans start singing Bubbles, they shout, "Come on, you Irons," everyone stands up, and from that point, it just goes downhill. The team are offering nothing. Look, I don't want to blame Nuno. That was a bad set of tactics last night. But it doesn't matter. We're just rearranging the chairs on the Titanic here. It doesn't matter who the manager is at the moment. We can't keep chopping and changing the manager, that's for sure. But I think you highlighted it, that the players are awful. There might not be much of an atmosphere in the home games. I'm not going to pretend there is. But there's no leadership on the pitch either. West Ham do not have a leader. And there's no athleticism. You pointed to midfield. We are such an incredibly slow team. And it all goes back to recruitment. Recruitment has been horrendous over successive managers, over a successive period of time. The fans will back. The fans will sing. And you've only got to look at Elland Road. We will sing our hearts out at Elland Road. We really will. We'll take as many away fans to that ground as any other club does. We'll sell out our full allocation. We really will. The fans, honestly, the fans are not to blame.
Will you sell it out on a Tuesday night when you're playing Preston next season?
Well, it's terrible. Maybe our superpower might have been. Well, you laugh, but maybe our superpower.
You've bitten there, Gonzo. You've bitten there.
It's true though, but that stadium is going to be no good in the Championship. It's going to be half empty.
But do you think you're going to be in the Championship next year? Seriously though, do you think you are going to go down? You mentioned the Titanic.
Yeah, I think it's highly likely. The trouble is these players do not suit Nuno. I'd suggest they don't suit almost any manager. They're not athletic enough for the way that the Premier League is, and we've mentioned the lack of leadership as well. The trouble is, even if we had a good January, which I'm not sure we will, who's going to want to come and join a team that's rooted to the bottom? Probably not too many players. To get there is going to be difficult. Leeds is going to be difficult. Newcastle coming up. These were the run of fixtures. And Jamie, I thought your Monday Night Football crew were excellent. Jamie and Gary O'Neill yesterday. They really succinctly put it that this is Brentford. Brentford are probably going to be a bottom 7 team. They were miles better than us. They should have thrashed us. It should have been 6-0 probably.
Jordan Henderson had a cigar on in the middle of the park. I could not believe it. He was getting on the ball, half turn, popping it about, out the other side, play, move it, getting on the ball. He must have been standing there thinking, I feel like Paul Scholes. No one's getting tight to him. 15 yards away, everyone. I couldn't believe it. Jordan Henderson. How old is he? 35? Don't get me wrong, he's a top player and he's playing for England, but it was the easiest performance he'll ever have in his life.
Born West Ham now, let's speak to fan Gary Killington. Right, Gary, we're having a bit of laugh and jokes there, but I know that you won't be laughing and joking this morning. How much did last night's performance upset you?
Oh, it was terrible. It was just demoralising because really what we knew was going to happen happened. I mean, we've all been lying to ourselves, blaming successive managers they've been sort of average managers, but these are not terrible managers. And yet they arrive here and look at the tools they got to work with. Nuno didn't help himself last night because he got it completely wrong. But look at the squad that's been assembled. That's the problem.
Gary, are you surprised how bad you actually are? Because when I look at West Ham, you know, you've got Jared Bowen, you've got Somerville, you've got some good players.
Paquetá.
Yeah, Paquetá in the middle of the park. Like, you've got some good players, but honestly, that performance last night was disgraceful.
Key word in that sentence was some good players, because we've got Lucas Paquetá, who fires every now and then. Jared, who always puts in a good performance. Diouf is up and coming. Who else we got? I mean, really, Somerville, he does well. So when you look at it, the AWB, there's probably 5 or 6 players who you could say are definite Premier League quality. The rest, no, there's nothing there. There's nothing to choose from. It's like a Frankenstein's monster that is pulled together, made up of spare parts from other teams, overpriced spare parts as well. These are just, he's bought the wrong part for the wrong position. You know, if you look at some of the people we've got, we bought Guido Rodriguez on again last night. Absolutely not enough legs in midfield. We started with Souček and Irvin in midfield. So we signed apparently some legs in Magassa, but then we've gone back to a slow double pivot. It was... Honestly, I'm at a loss as to how this team is going to survive.
But how worried are you? I mean, there's a message there I can see on the screen from a fan called Rails who says Bowen needs to get out of the club if he wants any chance of an England call-up. I mean, well, he is still in the England squad at the moment, but at the same time, how worried are you that when you say there are some good players, you could lose even some in January, let alone in the summer?
Well, the owner has already said, believe it or not, he's already said that we need to sell before we buy in January. And they're really only a couple of saleable assets. It shows you how badly that club has been run. And that is why we're doing what we're doing as fans. These owners need to go. It's going to go from bad to worse. It's starting to feel deliberate, you know. We're being stripped down. We got rid of Kudus, you know, the one outlet
I mean, it's not deliberate, Gary. I mean, surely,
no.
it's not deliberate. No way.
Look, I said it's starting to feel deliberate because when you look at the quality of that squad, I mean, it's really bad judgment. It's the judgment of somebody who's not a director of football, who's a chairman of a football club, who has appointed himself director of football without having any football knowledge.
Here's my question to you, though, right? It's bad. You're sleepwalking into the Championship.
Yeah.
But the fans have got to do some... I know you want to boycott. I know there's toxic atmosphere. But the players need you. You know, without using that ground at the moment... I mean, you've won 2 games in 2025, I think. Right? That's just embarrassing.
Let me just say...
They need you.
Yeah, they do. And the fact is, this is where the stadium comes into it, because the stadium, when things are going bad, at Upton Park, I think Gonzo covered it well earlier, Upton Park, we could sort of turn the dial up and we could reach the players and perhaps we could make a difference. In that place, honestly, it's so bad, the rake in the stadium just loses all of the noise. So you could have singing really loudly in the Bobby Moore stand. You won't hear it in the stand next door. No. You need the whole stadium singing at once. And about 3 or 4 times since we've been there, that's happened. It is not conducive to the players, to the fans helping the players. It's a terrible environment.
There's going to be no stadium move imminent, of course. So, but in terms of what is imminent, is your next 6 fixtures, which we've got up there on the screen. So Leeds away, Newcastle at home, Burnley at home, Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home, and Manchester United away. How many points do you expect realistically to get from those 6 fixtures, given that at the moment you've got 4 points from 8 games?
You know what? Until last night. I'm an optimist. I'm a West Ham fan. You've got to be an optimist. But otherwise, why else would you do it? But when you look at those fixtures now, I was expecting a home win last night. I was expecting Nuno to put the right team out like he did against Arsenal. That's as good as we got, even though we haven't got a striker. I was expecting to get a result last night. Brentford are struggling. They played us off the pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, we were lucky to get 0. It was, we could have beat us 4 or 5-0, and we couldn't have complained. So looking at those fixtures, I don't see where the points are coming from. I don't think we're going to get anything at Leeds now until but we'll probably get 3 or 4 points out of all those fixtures.
Well, that would put you very much in relegation form, because you're already with 4 points from 8 games. If you only get that amount from that, you are well below the point-a-game threshold. So do you think you are going down? You said you're an optimist.
Yeah, because we don't need a manager, we need a magician with these ingredients. I can't see how any manager could turn that around. Yes, I'm absolutely certain after watching it last night, and as depressing as it is, I think we've got to face reality now.